Hello. So for day 5, hopefully you guys will find this podcast pretty easy because it's just a couple more linear equation solving and then one word problem on the next page. Okay, so again, pause and see if you can get this right. And before you do, remember this negative. Okay. So hopefully you did that and now you've unpaused me and now you're just checking your work. That would be the better way to go. Okay, so check if this is okay. Yeah, so negative, positive, and a negative is a negative, and same with this, right? Remember, we're always getting that little mistake wrong. Okay, so here's like terms, and here like terms. Again, I'm going to write them in order. Just helps me to prevents me from mixing stuff up. Okay, negative 9x, negative x, that's like saying minus 9, minus 10. So you were 9 floors below the ground. You go down 1 more floor. So you're now 10 floors below the ground. Minus 45, minus 10, you were 45 floors below the ground. You go down 10 more floors. You're now 55 floors below the ground. Okay, now hopefully this is doable. Again, I want x. The first thing that's bugging me is the 55 that's attached to it. So I'm going to add 55 because this was a negative and a positive. We'll cancel it out. So now we've got negative 10x is equal to 35 and 55, 90? 90. Good. Now we've got a negative 10x. Don't just divide by 10. Do divide by negative 10 because that's, otherwise you're still going to have that negative hanging around. And this is divisible by negative 10. Positive divided by negative, we know, is a negative. So hopefully you feel like a little genius because you got negative 9 as your answer. If you did, definitely deserve a couple of stars for yourself there, okay? All right, moving right along. Here, 2t minus 1 divided by 3. When something is divided over a whole term, this is equivalent to this having brackets, okay? Just so that you know where to start again. Pause, try it, see if you get it. Okay. So, the first thing is, it's bugging me the fact that this whole thing has been divided by 3. So what I'm going to do to get rid of it, the opposite of division is multiplication, okay? So I'm going to multiply this side by 3, and I'm going to multiply this side by 3. Now, a very common mistake is to now go ahead and actually work with that 3. Don't do that. Remember, this is an expression that is being multiplied by 3 and divided by 3. The whole reason why I'm multiplying it by 3 is to get rid of that bottom. So the expression stays as 2t minus 1. Okay, now here, of course, we've got the minus 4 times 3, so that's minus 12. Okay, so again, divided by 3, multiplied by 3, just cancel each other out. Cool, good. Well, now hopefully you should not have any issues at all with solving this. Alrighty, so that cancels out. We add 1 to both sides, and now we have 2t is equal to minus 11 divide by 2, divide by 2. I should have switched to purple, but you shall forgive me. And your answer is negative 11 over 2. If you wanted to put it as a decimal and write negative 5 over 5, you could, of course, do that. Alrighty, flowers this time, and there we go. Remember, if you want to check, take the minus 5.5, stick it in here, and maybe I'll just do that since, just, you know, to stress that habit that you can always check, okay? Let's see. So we're going to have 2 times negative 5.5 minus 1 divided by 3. What does that give us? Okay, 2 times negative 5.5, that's negative 11. So what we've got is we've got negative 11, negative 1 over 3. Minus 11 minus 1 is minus 12 over 3. And of course, that equals to minus 4. So you can see that it gives you the answer that you started with. So you're confident that you're correct. Okay, now this is a new beast. something that many students find difficult, and those are the word problems. So even though it won't be in your homework just yet, do try and work through this, because the word problems will take you some days to develop. Okay, so what do we have here? Clara is twice as old as Ben. After 6 years, Clara will be 14 years old. How old is Ben now? Okay, when you have these word problems, the first step is define what X is. Let X be, okay, so Clara is twice as old as Ben. Okay, so I'm going to make Ben X, because if Clara is twice as old, then we already know that the expression for Clara is going to be 2x. Okay, so Clara is 2x. Okay, now look at this sentence. After 6 years, Clara will be 14. So, in 6 years, when Clara is 6 years older, she will be 14 years old. So what I've just done is I've just taken this information and translated into a mathematical expression. That's the hard part. If you can get through that, then of course now to solve it is piece of cake. Piece of cake, well, I want cake. 14 minus 6, 8, and now we know, right? Tuck, tuck. So that means that, now what did they want? They wanted Ben, and Ben is X, so Ben is 4. Okay, now again, because we're good little mathematicians, and maybe some of you paused it, tried it, and got 4, that's awesome. Let's check, okay? So, Ben is 4. Clara is twice as old, which means that Clara will be 8. Okay, what's happening in 6 years? In 6 years, Clara is 14. So we are extremely happy with our result of X being 4. Good, that's it. Keep practicing.